Yo, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another ArcheAge video, but this time we're going to talk about the ShadowBlade class again. Now, why are we discussing ShadowBlade again? Because 2.0 has released and things have changed. If you're watching this video and you're trying to learn how to play the ShadowBlade class, I have a link in the description to a ShadowBlade guide. The guide is pre-2.0, it was when 1.7 was out, but it still works. Then, after watching that guide, you want to return to this video to learn about some of the changes. In this video, I won't be showing you step by step how to do certain skills or combos. This is just simply an update, talking about some of the changes with ShadowBlade. There's not enough change to really make another guide for ShadowBlade. Maybe in the future, after playing with it for another 1,000 hours, but until then, this is just a short update. Now, a question that people have been wondering is, after 2.0, is ShadowBlade still viable? The answer is yes, but it's a lot different than it used to be. Is ShadowBlade better in World PvP than it is in 1v1s? After 2.0, I would say definitely. The thing is, with the new nerf to courageous action, you no longer have fear immunity, but all the other classes that run fear immunity like Hexblade and such are defenseless against you when it comes to fear. So running against classes like mages and stuff in World PvP when you're going against a giant group, before 2.0 you would jump in, you would pop Banshee Whale, a Tiger Strike for your team, you know. I'm kind of suicidal with it. I'll go in with a Tiger Strike into a giant group and Banshee Whale, knowing that I'm probably going to die, but at least I fear a lot of the enemies, allowing my teammates to go in for the kills. But before 2.0, some of the enemies wouldn't get feared because they always have courageous action pop. So let's say I go in on a group of 10 enemies, I'm lucky if I get 3 to 5 people feared. But now, with this new patch, everybody is going to get feared unless they're running some kind of honor cloak, which most people don't these days, or they're running occultism. And occultism has been buffed recently, which is pretty dope. I'll probably run with the executioner class in one of these upcoming videos. For now, it seems like occultism is one of the few things stopping fear, and occultism isn't that OP, let's just be honest about it. After 2.0, ShadowBlade is much more OP in open world than it is in 1v1s. Another recent change is when you're versing dagger spells, okay? Before 2.0, your only way of losing really was if, you know, you get God's Whip to death right off the bat, or if you get purged and you're just unlucky and get your courageous action buff removed. But that was kind of rare, and you know, if you're fast enough, regardless, you're going to kill the caster. But with this latest patch, it's all about who can pop the Banshee Whale faster. When going against a dagger spell, if they Banshee Whale you first, it's pretty much GG, because even if you have enough time to get out of the fear, they will Insidious Whisper you. Most mages these days have really short cast time, so Insidious Whisper seems almost instant. Insidious Whisper on top of Banshee Whale, those are two fears you have to watch out for, and then you get hit with a Sleep Cheese combo. So this has made dagger spell so much more OP. If you're still fast enough and you can fear them first, you know, it's possible to win. But let's say you don't beat them in one combo and they get up and Insidious Whisper you, or they get up and pop their Banshee, it's pretty much over. Because if they save their God's Whip and all the other combos, then once you get feared, if the Banshee's not enough time, they're going to Insidious Whisper you and you're going to die. The matchup against dagger spells, I've noticed that after 2.0 has been much harder. There's been like almost no dagger spells that could beat me before this, but now it's like, it's very hard, especially if they're skilled. Another matchup that has changed is ShadowBlade versus ShadowBlade. Now before it was about who can focal first, and usually once you focal them, you go in for the combo and you win. But if you're slightly off and you are just a millisecond late before starting that combo after the focal, the other ShadowBlade will focal you as well, and then the person who focals last will win. Now, with this new matchup, since you no longer have fear immunity, if you focal a ShadowBlade and then Banshee, that gives you a giant gap to get your combo started. You don't even have to worry about, oh my god, what if I'm late? What if my skills don't queue up? It doesn't even matter, because now you have seconds to prepare, not just like a very short time span where everything has to be perfect in order for you to get your combo off. Now it's like, oh, you can actually breathe before you start your combo and not trip about it as much. Same for the other ShadowBlade. So if you get Banshee by ShadowBlade first, it's GG. They have much more time to prepare their combo and get their shit together than they did before. There's not a tiny gap to recover. There's like no gap to recover. So that's the other thing with ShadowBlade. So for me, ShadowBlade versus ShadowBlade is still as easy because I was always faster when it came to popping the focal. I'm just as fast with the Banshee. But I do have a problem with the casters, because if I don't get off my Banshee first, or if I do get off my Banshee first and don't kill them, not only will they Banshee me, but they'll also Insidious Whisper me, and it's just, damn son. Two-handers. People ask, can you run this class with a two-hander? After 2.0, two-handers have less global cooldown. If you notice when you equip your weapons, it's different than before. So two-handers are viable now, but still not as fast as dual wielding. But can you do it? The answer before was, I mean, you can try it out and there's nothing wrong with it. Not going to be as good as dual wielding, but now the answer is even more, yes, you can. I've seen two-hand ShadowBlades and I've been beat by them as well, but if I still had the choice, I would go dual wield. That's not to say that you can't use a two-hander. I think a two-hand ShadowBlade looks pretty dope, especially in world PvP. Two-handed ShadowBlade is probably going to go ham. Now as a ShadowBlade, when it comes to gearing, just as in the last video, I would run 4-piece of a crafted set and 3-piece obsidian. When it comes to open world PvP, you kind of want to be more of a tank, so I would build into lightning because it has decent stats and great movement speed, or I would go earth just to be really trolly. And then 3-piece obsidian. The pieces of obsidian that I would use would be the cap for the extra melee attack, the fist for the extra crit, and the feet for the extra parry. And then the other 4 pieces would be the crafted set. If I was going for 1v1s and strictly 1v1s, I would build in the flame just for the burst and the strength, and I would still build into the 3-piece obsidian, same pieces that I just said. When it comes to weapons, for either open world or 1v1s, I would choose a short spear or a sword. Based on my server, since I have so many tanks, I would rather build into a short spear. But when it comes to the offhand, if I'm focusing more on open world, I would go into the Searing Oath, because it's a great katana, it has the passive for crits. At the same time, it makes you more of a tank because it gives you that received damage decrease. And if you're in open world, you might get ganked, you might get zerged, so to live longer, to pull off more combos, that's your goal here. If I'm going for 1v1s, I want to go into the Cold Anguish because it has more crit rate, and I'm just here to burst people down. Now, when gemming this class for open world, I would focus more on the received damage and resilience and things like that. But when going for 1v1s, I would focus more on focus. So with the Luna Stones on the first page of the honor shop, I would purchase the focus gems and put those in anything they could be put in just for 1v1s. It may sound weird not running the resilience and stuff, but if you're going in not to get hit and to just burst somebody down in 1 or 2 combos, it's best to just run for the focus build. Some people may disagree, but hey, I agree with myself. With the new guild cloaks, this gives you a 100% chance to get the Aurora cloak you've always been looking for, pretty much. So if you're going to buy a cloak and you don't have an Aurora one, and you're running ShadowBlade, it's best to build into the attack speed, because you want more attack speed, as explained in the ShadowBlade guide, because you lack attack speed. That's one of the sacrifices you make when switching to the rogue class ShadowBlade over the rogue class Dark Runner, because Dark Runner runs Thwart and Inspire and can run two-handers easily with a lot of attack speed. But you're slow, you sacrifice the mobility for CCs and anti-CCs. Not so much anymore though. So you want to build into the attack speed, but like I said, if you're going to run some type of Insidious Whisper ShadowBlade build, maybe you should try the cast time build instead of the attack speed cloak. With the new cloak, you want to level it up as far as you can get it, that way you can get the best stats out of it. I recommend building into strength and stamina, that way you're focused on more damage and parry and health, or you build into strength and intelligence, that way you focus on more damage overall, because even the focal will do more damage. With that being said, there's not much more to say about this class. If you have any other comments or advice for the ShadowBlade or changes after 2.0 that I didn't mention, feel free to leave them in the comments and let's work together and thumbs those comments up, that way people can notice them. If I find out any new information, I'll also post it in the description. Just so you guys know, the t-shirt shop is now open. I'll put it in the description, also link it right here. We have ShadowBlade tees out right now. I've designed them myself. It's actually designed based off of my in-game character Cryy. It's pretty dope. If you buy a shirt, it supports me, but also you get to wear a dope ass shirt or pullover hoodie. So if this video helped you out in any way, shape, or form, please like the video, subscribe to the channel for more ArcheAge vids, and I hope to see you in the next video. See you later, friends.